Okay, we're gonna bring the meeting to order. I'm gonna go and do see who's here. So we have Attorney Barr, Cindy Mason.
Here.
Denise.
Here.
Eric.
Present.
Kaylee. Me. And then we don't have anybody here yet, but I'm sure they'll be coming in. So I'm gonna try to keep us on track, or Judd will, because we have 3 things that we are considering. Did everybody get that email?
Yes.
Okay, and sorry, and also, did everybody see the minutes from last month, which is here? Sorry,
Yes.
Cindy. Okay. Did everybody get a chance to look through those minutes? I didn't give you one of those either. And there's Paula. Hi, Miss Paula. Hey, Nico. How are you today? Good. All right. Did everybody get a chance to look at the minutes?
Yes.
Would anybody like
Move to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay.
Boom, better.
Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna try to keep on plan. We're gonna start with rezoning request for 112 West Bond Street. And this is the one we talked about last month too.
Right. So this is, it's a one building, a former house that had 2 units in it, and now it has 3 units in it. It's zoned R2, and we want R2 to be exclusively 2-family dwellings, so he needs R3 on this, and it's how it's been operated for a year or so. Can you come forward and give us your name, Guillermo, and tell us what your plans are, how long you've been doing it, so that they know what they're being asked to approve?
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Guillermo Claure. I purchased that property maybe a little over 2 years ago. It was in really bad shape. I fixed it, and at the beginning I thought it was 3 units. I mean, from the beginning, because there were 2 in the first level, even two access doors and everything. And there is a unit on top, and the only access was from the outside through the wooden stairs, which were basically destroyed. So that's I thought it was 3 units from the beginning, and that's how we fixed it. It was rebuilt, completely updated. No additional footage was added to the building. It is the same as it was before. While I was trying to obtain insurance for the house, and then doing a price and everything, I was told that we had to do some update on the zoning, basically, because it was an R2, and there was an option to apply for rezoning, to make that 3, to make it all up to date, quote unquote legal. I don't know. And that's the purpose. Hopefully, after this is approved, I'll go ahead and get proper insurance and everything, and keep the building up to date, up and running. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a question. Do we look at apartments, units before they're ready to go? Do you do that, Eric, or not?
This particular one, yes, I've done that.
Okay. So are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely three units, but previously it was 2. Now there's 3 meter bases that are on it. Prior to this, there was probably 1 meter base that was shared for 2 units.
And it says 2 adults per unit. So what if one of those is a child? I mean, what are children going to be in this? Like, how do we regulate that? So it's not overcrowded.
Yeah, but not. I require for the tenants to be adults. Most of them work across the street in that factory, Harrison's,
Mm-hmm.
and they're basically roommates.
Okay.
That's a requirement. No pets, no children.
Okay.
That's our. It's under.
Okay.
So basically, we're just making it illegal.
Kind of matching what the actual use is.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thought about this last time. Do you give an occupancy when you do a permit like this?
We're working on that.
Mhm.
That literally was the subject of something between the mayor and Eric and I this morning that we're working on. There are provisions for it. We're trying to figure out how it applies to residential units or to rental units.
That would not be a factor of this.
That would, it's not, in my opinion, the way that's been used for 2 years now, no. We're kind of catching the zoning up to the use rather than vice versa. I mean, it should have been done in the other order, no doubt, as you know. And we want to change our code so that R2 means two family without exceptions. And right now, it seems like you could read that there could be an exception. We talked about that at our last meeting and decided there's not going to be more than two families in an R2. So this is kind of one straggler that needs to be corrected. That's all.
Does anybody have any concerns on that? To change it from R2 to R3?
I move we change it.
So I have a motion
I'll second it.
and Lisa seconding. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I guess I should also say we're sending it to the city council.
So it's a
Favorable
favorable.
recommendation.
Favorable recommendation. yes.
Unfavorable, favorable, or no recommendation. Okay. So we've got, we say favorable, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us. 0. Do I need to sign this twice?
Because I'll give one to Joanne for her records.
Okay. Here's the first one. Okay. There's that. So you're good to go. Yay!
So there will be a hearing at 6 o'clock here tonight, and this is the agenda item. The city council has final say on that. They're the ones that have the power. This is an advisory plan commission. They advise the city council. And they've given it a favorable recommendation, but it'll be up to the city council to ultimately pass an ordinance to change your zoning. Then that'll happen tonight at the 6 o'clock meeting, sometime during the 6 o'clock meeting.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Travis.
All right,
and
then-
Evolution.
That one will be, let's see, that was for, this next one's gonna be the replotting and rezoning request for Evolution Homes with Travis. It's 1214 North Perry and 1300 North Perry. So, and they obviously sent an email over for that with all of our information. If anybody wants to see any of that, I have it pulled up on my computer too.
And I've got a paper copy too.
Perfect.
That's what
if
we
you-
looked at last time.
Yeah.
Yes,
And I've
yeah.
watched.
Yeah, that's the one with like, he showed like the full, like the
Yeah.
plots, how we were gonna he was gonna turn it, I think, right, a little bit.
So this is, he's got 3 lots there. One of them is a smaller lot. And to make his 2 duplexes and a triplex work, he's got to shift the orientation so that instead of all of them having a North Perry address, one of them is going to have a North Perry address and the other 2 are going to be whatever is
Side street.
the side street.
What
there.
is the side street there? I know I should.
Third Street.
Is it Third Street?
I think
Okay.
that's third behind you.
What, you can elaborate on your plans, Travis?
It goes north and south.
No, third is right behind.
So obviously it's
There's
kind of
4.
hard to kind of explain without having it right in front of me, but the back 2 lots will have the 2 duplexes, and then the front will have the triplex in the front. So they'll all be on their own lots. I just have to redesign on how the lot lines go, basically, to accommodate these structures.
And that's why we're saying replat and rezoning. So we're doing that all in this
Okay.
and in the city council meeting tonight.
Okay.
So, and it'll take some acquiescence from the Fountain County auditor because she's got parcel numbers that are set up to match how it was originally platted,
Mhm.
and now we're twisting those. And so there may be, we've got to have a handshake between the 2 bodies so that the county, they turn their lots to match what we're replatting. I just saw that it needed to be replatted and threw that in as part of this application.
And it's to go from R2 to R, because one's 2 and one's 3, right?
Two of them, the
Main.
the two duplexes are going to R2 and the triplex is going to R3.
It's kind of a phase 1, 2, and 3 type situation. I kind of just try to get one done and then move on to the next one. And then the triplex in the very front would be the very last situation. So
I remember when we talked about this last month when we just first looked at it. I feel like Paula, we had talked about a question. Was it about the garage? Was it about, there was something? Was it the parking on
Parking
the?
was brought up.
We talked about something with the parking. I remember something with the garage, but it wasn't. It was just more of us being curious or trying to figure out. But I don't remember what it
I
was.
think it was the level, like how they.
Oh,
Okay.
maybe is there?
okay. It's the duplexes are going to be stacked. So because it's such a narrow lot, I'm going to have a stacked duplex. So on the drawing, one will face Perry Street and the other will face towards the River Canal. It'll have the driveway to get down to the basement because it'll be a walkout basement on the basement ones. So it'll have a driveway that will go in between the two buildings and then have parking on the basement on the lower inside. So basically, one's going to the very top duplex is going to face towards Perry, and the bottom one will be like a walkout basement, and we'll have their own separate parking. So everybody will be kind of divided up and have their own.
So
No,
they'll just have that
I'm
one
confused.
entrance, right, from here. From this is the side street. They're gonna have
Yes.
that one entrance in. Okay, I kind of like
Yes.
that. So they
Yes.
won't. The lower units will
That's the
only.
parking, yep,
Got
and then in front of the triplex, it'll just be kind of street, right, it'll just be right off the street, basically.
Okay.
Right up to the very front of the units, it'll basically be a strip all the way across there for them to be able to be allowed to park.
Do you guys want to see that again? Does that make sense?
But I thought you just said that one will be facing
The duplexes themselves,
are back here.
There'll be one above and one below. And
So
there'll be
one
an
will
upstairs
face-
unit and a downstairs.
That will
unit.
face the river, and this one will face this out towards.
The upper will face Perry and the lower will face the river.
Okay.
But really, that's not,
Yeah.
we just have to either go,
Yep.
it
We
fits
agree
in the
with
use
Yep.
and we approve
Oh,
the
true.
different
That's-
plans.
yeah.
Yeah, so none of that
I
matters.
love it.
I know it's kind of interesting the way it's
I
kind
love
of
you.
like.
Keep us on
Well,
track. It's such a
I
good
was
thing.
getting
You're right.
confused when they were saying one's facing Perry.
You're
I'm
right.
thinking,
Yeah,
okay, they got
it's-
the tri thing on
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Okay,
That's
gotcha.
just the duplex. The top side will be facing
Okay.
towards the road. The back side will have.
He's right. Okay, so when Kyle always keeps us so on track with this. Okay, so the question is, are we okay with the replatting? Is that the first one? Are we okay
Yes.
with him replatting it?
Mhm.
How do we all feel?
That's for you guys. to
Yeah,
decide. That's
how-
one of your
I
two
make a
decisions.
motion that we recommend to the city council that we replat it.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so replatting's good. So that is this for?
That's for both.
Okay, this is for both. And then then the next one would be changing it from, it's currently R1.
All of them are R1 and the back two would be R2s and the front one would be R3, with the triplex would be R3.
Okay, so the front one facing Perry would be R3. We're changing it from R1 to R3, and the back two would be R1 to R2. Which I think fits in obviously with the code that we're all talking about.
And you remember, but you all may not, these were surplus property lots that
Right.
nobody was doing anything with, and this is getting some tax base on your property. This is exactly how it was supposed to work out.
Which doesn't, it's very rare that we do something.
Well, I'm just saying,
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is,
New year.
yes.
Yeah.
I've made plans to get a site, get the site surveyed, so to speak, site markings and measurements and all of that stuff. Clean the lot up as needed, and and kind of just go from there with that. So
I'm excited. I think it'll be nice.
I think it'll be a great project, and I think
Me
it's
too.
going to be add some people to the
Yeah.
city, and
Mhm.
that type of thing. So it's just
Absolutely. Yep. So do we have
necessary.
a recommendation to also change it, the front lot from R1 to R3 and the back lots from R1 to R2?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay, yay.
So this will be taken up again at the city council meeting.
I appreciate your time.
No, thank you so much.
you.
We appreciate you investing in the city and seeing that.
I love it around here, so I'm excited for everyone. So.
Yes, we're excited to have you.
I would love to do that too.
Yeah.
If it keeps getting crazy where I'm at, it's
Yeah.
pretty well happening.
Well, I heard it is.
Oh, man. We'll stay on track, but oh yeah.
Okay, so that one's done. So the next one is going to be Attica Vacation Rentals request for approval on its residential development plan. And we obviously got also the third email on that one. We have the person here. I appreciated in the I loved the pictures. I thought that was very helpful. I thought that was really nice. I'm sure you saw all that.
Yep.
They look really nice. So
I did. I love this. Okay, I do have a question for you.
So you'll.
You want me to step down?
I don't, that.
maybe,
I honestly
yeah,
cannot-
maybe.
No, it-
It might be, yes,
I know
yeah.
you can't participate, but I have a quick question.
Yeah, well, I can.
Do you want to do?
It's
do
fake.
I would say, do you, now you want to? Do you want to do your like? Who are you? Why are you here?
So yes, this is the project we've been working on for several months. We brought back, basically, we did the last rezoning of the one part. So this puts all the parcels together as one big project. We did attach some of the proposed structures that we're looking at, all tiny home based, all improvement. We gave you site views of the street. Due to trees, utilities, some of that, the actual placement of each house will vary a little bit, but we put in there for the max that we would ever want to put on there. Denise, you said you had a specific question?
Yes, I do have. The picture that we have, let me bring it up here. This one right here.
Yes.
Okay, so there's some little tiny squares that are like around in a circle here, and
Yes.
then there's a couple over here.
Yep.
What are those?
Those
tiny
single
houses?
bedrooms.
What- those
Yes, single bedroom. So it'll range from one bedroom all the way up to 2 bedroom and a loft.
Okay, and those ones that are going in a circle, where do they park at? Because I don't see.
We
parking.
didn't put in the driveway, but if you see,
Where the trailer used to be next to it?
that's ADM. So there's like a cul-de-sac on the one. That part
No.
isn't to scale.
APM is up here. I'm talking down here. Okay, here's where.
I'm gonna
saying
corner
it's
it so
right
I
here.
can see what you're talking about.
These three here. So it looks like there used to be a trailer there.
Yeah, that part's not to scale necessarily.
Okay.
Again, we'll have to move
So
this.
these are the single bedrooms. That
Yep.
means these two are single bedroom as well,
But yeah, again,
Okay.
it's not to scale as far as that.
right?
So we're gonna build it in phases. So basically, depending by need will be the final count of like 2 bedrooms versus, single and lofts.
Okay.
But yeah, biggest one will be 2 bedroom with a full loft, which is also put in the pictures there.
Now, when you get these built, do we get a tour to see them?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay,
They're very nice, well built. They're, again, when we say tiny homes, basically it's just because they're not truly on like a traditional foundation, but they're all built out of just like you would a house. So all conventional lumber, siding, everything like that. It's not RV based or anything like that. Just like a real house.
But are most of these for off the trail rental?
No,
Or-
so it'll be mixed use. So fully transparent, will be mixed use. So with the current housing and stuff like that, is changing a lot with all the different projects. So that's kind of why we're going to build by demand. So just how things fit and fill.
Kyle, when you built all the other housing out there, this is just a question. That was mainly local builders, wasn't it?
Yeah. So
Is that the,
it'll be very similar. We built everything from stick built there.
right?
This is going to be a little different just due to the size of them and efficiency. We are basically ordering them built to our specs where the insides aren't finished. So we'll use local drywall and then we'll finish out the inside, electrical, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so will they come just ready to sit down and,
They'll sit down, but they're not finished. So that's
I
why I said
gotcha.
we'll finish out the inside. So
Yeah.
flooring, all of that kind of stuff. So they just do the outside windows, doors, stuff like that. So they're dried in is basically another way to say it.
okay. So when do you plan to start on this?
Depends on tonight.
Well, okay, so I guess my question in this is, what is our consideration here?
So a residential development plan is provided for in your zoning code right It's for developments that are more than 10 acres. So he has an application for a variance of that because the combined these would be about 5 acres. And I don't understand the size requirement. I don't understand why it would be restricted to an area of 10 acres if there's,
Is that for that whole area or just this?
That's, well, we only own
Both-
basically the road facing. So
both
that's,
sides of Perry.
Okay, okay.
Both, so
Got
added together, they're about 5 acres. And what it is, in my mind, why you would do this is because we're not going to assign lots and do a subdivision per se and say there's going to be a building on this 60 by 100 acre or 100 foot parcel. And, you know, since we're not doing that because of kind of the unique use of it, he's talking about putting them in roughly the same places where the trailers were and using the streets that were there and maybe expanding them or adding onto them a little bit, but not much. It allows him to say, in this area, I'm going to have X, 18 units of a combination of these types of housing units. Here's what I'm going to do for streets. And so what he's looking for is something that the city says this plan works for this area. And he doesn't have to have it surveyed out and broken into lots, because that's what your zoning code anticipates a development with lot. A subdivision is a development with lots. It has this kind of the residential development plan provision is kind of ambiguous in the sense that it doesn't say, you know, you've got to have specific setbacks and you've got to have specific access requirements or size requirements. All that's required is that this use is appropriate to land adjacent to it. It doesn't interfere, like you wouldn't put it next to Harrison Steel's plant, for instance. That wouldn't be compatible. That the plan is consistent with the intent of this title to promote public health, safety, and general welfare. So are things spread out and accessible like you would expect to find? And since he's putting them in roughly the same place, I think that answers that, but that's yours. And what you're going to do is you're going to give your approval to it, and then it goes to the city council for their approval. So I've done an ordinance for all three of these things that we've heard tonight. I've done ordinances, two of them that one rezones Sustainable and Resilient Engineering LLC, one replats and rezones Evolution Homes, and one approves the residential development plan that he has submitted, if the city council does it, based on, like, on one side of the road, 18 units, just exactly what was in that notice. So it's appropriate to the adjacent use. It's consistent to promote public health, safety, and general welfare. That the buildings will be used primarily for single-family dwellings, apartments, or group houses, and the usual accessory uses such as garages, storage spaces, and community activities. And four, and the last one, that the area of the tract excluding the street area is of a sufficient size for the minimum lot requirement per like family or unit. And this is. So that's why I say.
So it doesn't have to have a specific zone to it, just the description.
And this has two zones, actually. They're both set up for residential. That's what's important. So like if one of these was zoned business, which is how we started this, right? On the west side of Perry, it was zoned B2, and he needed an R2. And so he came through and got
So it's an R2 right now, the west side.
the west side is, and it's suburban on the east side.
Okay, and both of those
Support
comply.
residential.
Okay,
So, and they don't match, but there's no distinguishing feature about them other than in an R2, you could have two family dwellings, but you could also have single family dwellings. So they're both set up to receive what he's proposing.
So I guess my question would be, Judd, to clean that up, would it be preferable to go ahead and have those all zoned as R2 ahead of time, rather than leaving that one at suburban?
It doesn't change. I mean, it literally doesn't add any requirements it doesn't give him any more latitude or you any more.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I think he's just talking about-
Conformancy.
Yeah.
Would it be preferable to have, doesn't help him, doesn't hurt him, but would it be,
Just because we've struggled, obviously, we're still struggling with the fact of all of our zoning is kind of screwed up.
would it
And
be
so it's
nice
just-
if they were all zoned
If it was
the
all
same?
zoned the same.
Yeah, I certainly don't mind it. There's no downside. I think it's R3 though, I thought. Could be wrong.
Yeah, I was thinking it was R3 and.
I have no preference, but I also understand the need to clean it up because.
So to make it match whatever's
Yeah.
on the west side.
I absolutely would do whatever they
That's,
say.
that's just my thought, and I'm not dug in on that, but I'm trying to make things a little bit more.
It needs to be cleaner, not just yours. We've
Yeah,
talked about this,
yeah.
the whole
I
city
get it.
needs to be better.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem in saying if you want to do that, that's fine, but yeah.
And the one thing I would also add is part of, like, when you do a subdivision, it's designed to carve off into different ownerships.
This is
Versus
not.
this is, I'm retaining ownership of the entire property.
Mhm.
So that was another reason why we went this direction.
And I guess that's the reason why I asked. I've read that before about the plan, but I just wanted to make sure we knew what we were considering. So do we have any questions for Kyle based on, for the residential development plan?
You had said last month that there was a possibility that you'd be putting duplexes out there as well. Are you still looking at that possibility?
There is a possibility of that, but it's not like our forefront. It wouldn't change any space or any size. It just basically the ones that are almost double wide, it would just be front and back.
Okay.
So look aesthetically the same.
Okay. Does this change anything? I know that we had talked a little bit about this. Does this change anything with our building minimums and stuff like that? Is it different because this is a residential?
So how this section ends, this very, very short section of the code says, if the common council approves the proposed residential development plan, improvement location permits and certificates of occupancy shall be issued, even though the use of the land, the location of the buildings to be erected in the area, and the yards and open spaces involved in the plan do not conform in certain respects to the regulations for the district in which the development is located. So say he had he would have needed to apply for a variance for a setback. He would not need to do that. Within this space, he's saying he's gonna have 18 here and 18 here, and you're generally approving those. And once the city council's generally approving those, you're giving a positive recommendation to the city council if you do that. But the idea is that his individual structures are not going to need to comply with the individual requirements for a single-family residence or a two-family residence or a three-family residence, and all that those entail. He's got an area.
Well, on the west side it would, right? Because it's an R2.
I said R2 in there, and they're correcting me, and I was just looking. I didn't
I
bring
mean-
that file. It may be R3.
Do you think it's R3? I think I could probably look. I think I've got.
I don't know that would change because it's still what we're asking for is the area itself to be, this is the project.
To
Yeah,
have that be
I
designated.
understand that, but I'm just
Originally-
saying if a residential requires you to have so much space,
He wouldn't have to.
he wouldn't have to on the suburban area.
You wouldn't have to on
Oh,
either side.
But on the west side, if it's already
No,
R something,
I
that's what I'm,
I don't think I don't think that causes any distinction at all for what he's planning to do
okay.
in a residential development area. In a residential development area, all those rules that you're talking about don't apply.
Yeah, originally it was industrial.
Whether it's suburban, R1, R2, or R3, it has to be residential, and any one of those four are residential. But once you get past that it's residential, all those other rules do not apply because we're not going to break it up into lots.
Right.
So will there be a number of how many units can be built?
18 on one side, 18 on
And
the
I
other.
mean, and so that's what it would have to stick to.
Yeah, I know.
And he'd have to come back and
Okay.
And let me give you an example of that. I don't know what his plans are, but just say he bought additional land, but the other trailer park or something behind or north of, west of Perry Street, the electric company, the electric
a
service
hall or
guy.
something like that.
If he picked up another lot, he may be coming back to ask to amend
But
his
that would be
plan.
another
It's-
whole different lot,
Yeah,
yeah.
instead of saying 18 and maybe 20, or what if they picked up the other trailer park, he may be asking for 30. I don't know what's back there, but that he'd have to come back.
Yeah.
He'd have to stay within 18. That's would be getting approved by the city council.
Okay,
And if he wanted to change that in the future and increase it, he's got two things that are working against him. The space requirement has to be the same. He has to have enough space for what, you can't jam 40 units in this little area and still meet the space requirements. So that's working against him. And your approval of his residential development plan was based on 18 units on each side.
Okay.
And so if he wanted to make it denser, or he would have to come back for an amendment, and it would need to meet the space requirements.
Okay.
So he'd probably have to, I don't know I haven't mapped out exactly how much extra space you have, and maybe you have. You've got that pretty much where the trailer park had it at its capacity.
Yeah. I kind of like that you're going about it this way, just because I felt like when we had talked previously about this, over the last few months, we were if you had to do it piece by piece, that was gonna be such pain. I feel like, I like that we're kind of, it's all lumped together. In my opinion, it's a plan. This is what the
Oh, I
plan
thought it should
is.
be all lumped together.
Yes, and I think that you and I had
Exactly.
talked about that too. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like this way
Yeah,
for this
imagine
type
if
of development.
If he did like 4 units and then he wanted to do the 5th one and he went in for a building permit and it was denied because you say it's not big enough now, we want bigger houses.
Right.
He can't plan his development that
right.
way.
Yeah.
So this
Just-
is,
Just the thought of having, say if you want to put in 4 duplexes as opposed to 4 single units there as part of that 18, how does that affect the density?
well, it's gonna be 18 buildings. Some of those are going to be duplexes, so there may be 20 units. He's gotta have sufficient space inside that parcel, because we're not doing lots, so.
I understand
Okay.
that. I understand that, but I thought the density right now is based on, you understand what I'm saying,
Yeah,
Kyle?
so the way I would describe it is we're going after 18 rooftops, which,
I understand that.
okay. So whether the inside of that space is carved off in 2 1-bedroom apartments or 1 2-bedroom, it's still the same amount of roof space, even though it's 2 units.
Well, I think density
You're thinking
applies more of the
people.
people that it's
Yeah.
gonna house. And so if you had 2 and 2 as opposed to 1 and 1, it's not the roof space. I get that and I understand that. I'm saying, does density become affected when you put the number of
Population.
population?
Yeah,
That's what I'm
and
talking.
it's a fair question, and talking generically, this is also where, like, you have to look at if there is an occupancy, which isn't yet, that's where that would come into play. But I would also say, like, we most likely won't use all 18. So
This is just like your max.
max, and then we went off of what was existing there for the trailers. So, like, it's very similar to the original use.
So is there a maximum for
I can-
population for that space?
I don't, there probably is, and I don't know what it is. Here's what that code provision says about density. That the area of the tract excluding street areas, but including the area to be devoted to parks, parkways, and other open spaces will provide the minimum lot area per family, counting all families to be housed under the unit development plan, which is required for the most intensive use normally permitted in the district in which such development is located.
So I think it
So-
is asking for population.
Well, I'm just saying, I think the number is, I think, and I'm doing this, I shouldn't be guessing, but I think this is right, 450 square feet is the minimum unit size of a multifamily dwelling. So whatever, if he's got 20 families or 24 families on one side in 18 units, he needs 24 times the minimum lot size available for living space. That's what that's saying.
I just don't want there to be
Yeah,
a
it's just
problem
trees and shrubbery.
if he gets into the building of it and there's some snafu about the density issue. That's all. I don't want to do anything to impede what you want to do. I just want to make sure that we're covered, so we don't have any setback once we're in it, like, you know, you measure twice and then you cut once. That's kind of where I'm,
Yeah, and I'm not, you know, I mean, I don't want to represent you guys, but I would say our use, I don't find that as being a big issue because one, we're one story, like nothing we're doing is 2-story. So like when you look at some of the apartment buildings and things like that, like our density physically is going to be way less than
okay.
you would on other square footage.
So you might look at 2 bedrooms in the 1 unit as opposed to 1 and 1 in the duplex.
Yeah, it's not like we have 4 units stacked on top of each other.
Gotcha.
So everything's ground level.
Okay.
You know, and I would also just kind of add like, you know, the type of uses that we do, and I've been an advocate on this for other projects and stuff for the town, like trailer parking is a big part for what we do. It's just something that we always plan ahead. Therefore, it physically takes more space. So we're always planning for that kind of stuff for our uses.
I see what you're saying.
So what do we need to do to just make a motion to?
If you approve it, yeah, if you approve, give it a favorable recommendation to go on to the city council.
I'd like to do that.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 5.
One abstainer.
Oh, that's true. I don't think can I just put 5 and 0?
5 and 0, and you should put that Kyle Nash
Abstain.
abstains.
Okay.
Dang, we're good. Aren't we?
We are. It is 4:37. At least we get that done quickly. I mean, I know
Hopefully
you
the
do a whole
council
bunch of
will be
work
as swift.
to get that.
Well, they should be.
Well, you just had time to look at it
Yeah.
too, so.
Yeah, that is
That
very
helps.
helpful. Okay, the only other thing, is there anything else that you have before I say my piece?
You'll have more work in a future meeting or two, but we're still working out the details of what it's going to be. The mayor and the city council may have some changes to propose to the zoning code. Those proposals come to you to consider, then they go back to them and, like pertaining to permit fees and, occupancy permits and, dumpsters with lids and, there's one other thing. In the 2-family residential district being limited to 2 families. So there's like 4 tweaks that have been talked about by different people. It would be convenient to do those all at one time.
So we've got that coming up in the next
Yeah.
couple meetings.
Yeah, that'll be in a meeting or two.
Some of you know that the redevelopment commission was working with having input from HWC of a plan on how we can move forward with Cable One and working out okay, let's do this, and this. And I got information presented at that meeting. But they also were saying that they have done, Larry, and I don't know if you've talked to Brian?
Ben?
Ben?
No, I'm talking about Brian. No.
That's the
Brian
new
at
guy?
HWC. Anyway,
Oh.
he specifically works on doing rezoning. They rezoned all the rezoning maps for Flora, for Tipton, for Edinburgh. And I don't know if it's possible that maybe they could help us. He said Flora, they got done in 3 months, everything.
Meaning taking what they've got and putting together a new map.
Yes. What do you think, Judd?
Well, I mean, I'm not spending the money. That'll be expensive, but like every 10 years or so, in my opinion, that should be done just because it's hard keeping track of all of these exceptions.
Well, and I feel
I
like
think
we've
so.
made so many changes in the last
Yeah.
5 years
Yeah.
that even the map we're working off of is outdated.
Yeah, we spent some time
Yeah.
going back and looking to see.
I know,
From the 2013 map, have there been any changes? So I wasn't the attorney from 2013 to 2019, so I don't know what happened. And I haven't looked at any minutes of any meetings. And Joanne wouldn't know that either. Same problem.
Is that something that we can get a quote on? I guess,
Yes, and I've got, yes.
because I
And he
think
would even be willing to come down and say, gives us time to contact Flora, Tipton, Edinburgh, and say, were you satisfied with the work when they did your rezoning mapping for you? And see how happy they were. And then he said, he sent me an email, I can't find
Right
it.
here.
what's his last name? Brian what?
His name is Brian Stump.
Oh, that's who we talked to on the phone the last meeting, the last redevelopment meeting, right?
Yes, we did talk to Brian Stump. See, STUMPF.
So we would want that product to be superimposed on whatever you're using for a GIS system as a layer, so that the public can go, they don't need to call me and say, what's the
Exactly.
zoning
Yep.
on 112 West Bond Street?
Exactly.
Yep.
And because that causes me to have to go through as many ordinances as have been passed since 2020, changing the zoning and looking at the old zone map and hoping nothing happened between 2013 and 2019. You know, I always wondered what happens if I'm wrong, and some happened in 2017, and I say, oh, it's residential, and nope, was changed to B2 back in 2017, and I don't have a copy of that.
I fully support
Talking with him?
talking them because I just Googled this really quick and it says, with our recent addition of Brian Stumpf as our studio lead for community development, we are excited to announce our ordinance services are expanding. There is now an even better way for Indiana communities to manage development. We've created a modern, easy to use unified development ordinance system to help communities manage development quickly and affordably. We need this, even if you did it for no one else other than ourselves,
I think so
because
too.
this is something, I mean, not saying you
No,
guys
no,
can do
no.
it, but just as
Well,
something to
it'd
be
be
like,
beneficial to
it would
Jeff.
be everybody.
But if I'm a developer and I'm thinking about coming into your community, and I don't want you to know I'm thinking about coming into the community, I gotta be able to go see what the zoning is without calling
Exactly.
somebody and
Exactly.
flipping my hand.
Yep,
And
I
hoping,
agree.
you know, people are.
Okay, he can meet with us. I want you to look at your calendars or else write it down and call me.
Okay.
He can meet February the 26th, March the 2nd, March the 4th, March the 5th. I would prefer to do it before our next meeting,
Which our next meeting
It's
is
the 9th.
The 9th.
March the 9th. So just so he could shoot us out some ideas of this is what I've done, this is what it looks like. Yes, I could do an overlay to your existing GIS.
And I want to know a price.
Well, yeah,
That's my biggest
he
thing. I want to
said,
do it, but I need to know the price.
he
But
said,
they're willing to do it for free.
I'm in for free.
I don't think that's an option. However,
Well, we could try.
Could you use funds from like TIF or any of that other stuff to just?
well, we've got other things that we're going to be using them for in the development of Cable One. I'm getting that together, and I've got quotes on that too, and which you all know you don't have because you're not on the board.
Is to redo the map and to redo the map with the layer added to a GIS, because that'll be an add-on that will be expensive.
Yeah.
But that way, when you do an ordinance, you send it to them where they give you the administrative rights, you want to change it yourself.
Yes, there could be some other,
I think it'd be
there
so
might be
useful
some
because
grant
it's
money
like
out
we
there
change
available
things.
to do it
And
too.
it's, I'm
So I just say,
old map.
let's
like
get the
we did when I
information
was just
from
looking at
him.
Kyle's
Let's
stuff.
listen to what he
I'm
has to
looking at an old
say.
map and I'm like, well,
and-
that's not right because we did change that already. And it's obviously not updated. So I'm looking at the dates. It's which we can. I just want people to know. Thursday, February 26th is a Thursday. March 2nd is a Monday. March 4th is a Wednesday, and March 5th is a Thursday. And this is
The
my.
26th is a Tuesday.
Did I say Thursday?
Is that for this board, this group?
February 26th is a
Yes.
Thursday.
Okay.
Is it? Okay.
So I'm just throwing this out there to any of us, and maybe tell me if I can be wrong on this. If we had it, any of these days, I'm thinking sometime in March though, we could probably count that as possible as of our meeting if we don't have anything else to discuss, right? Could we change it or no?
You can change the date of your regular meeting by
Anytime.
posting a notice 48 hours before the meeting.
Okay.
It's super simple.
So I'm just using
Well,
that as an
I-
example.
I
Or do you want to
didn't-
meet twice?
I thought about.
No, that makes sense. You're right.
To have like, just an idea, like a committee meeting.
Mhm.
And then bring it up. We have time to take all his information, digest it, and come back at the meeting and decide what we want to do.
I think
Can we do
that's
that,
fine. I'm
Jen?
fine with that.
Yeah,
Does it have to? So does that one have to be open to the public? I mean, there's not anything to hide.
So what she's talking about is, can this be a work session, which is a public meeting that's not advertised? And I would say this is definitive enough that you know what you're doing. It's not like doing a budget is a work session where you kind of hash through people's points of view, and it's going to take forever to get through the points of view. You don't need the public sitting there chiming in. It's between you guys. I would say it needs to be a public meeting, and I would not do it as a work session, but I'd just post it on the door. I wouldn't.
Meeting tonight or whatever.
Yes, well, 40 business hours in advance, public notice.
If we let Joanne know, she'll post it online for us. So it'll be,
Does it have to be posted online?
she'll post it on just the Attica website, like our
Okay.
event thing,
Okay.
and then
Okay.
then she'll post it on the doorway. So
Just because it's a public meeting doesn't mean the public has a right to talk. A public meeting is a right to attend.
Well, and I think it's important to have public meetings when you get down to see what they want.
I'm just saying, if you
Right.
want to not have everybody's,
I'm so glad I
all
have that
3,000
recorded.
people inputting.
that's what I was just gonna say.
That's you just say, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
That wraps
This is our-
that part up.
Thank you for
And then-
coming. Peace out.
Yeah, and then you guys discuss what you need to discuss.
Okay, just,
But just fundamentally, you already know you want to do it.
I do want to.
It's just the amount of swallowing the pills of, is it
Well,
5 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand, and how you're gonna pay for it. That's what you need to do prior to the meeting.
well, I think we need to know what the price is.
It is what it is. I'm
I know,
just
I know.
accept,
But
it's
I will say,
better.
It'll be.
I will say this: we need it.
Uh,
We as a group need it. But this is something I feel. Now, this is me. I'm not one to spend money. Okay, I'm not one to spend money. The only thing I would say is, if we as a group say, well, we can't pay for it, someone does need to step up, because I will say this is not just benefiting us. This is benefiting every single person that works on it, on the city council. This benefits us on APC, on RDC, on people like Travis that are wanting to come build. But this is not just we're doing this because we want to clean it up. No, this is
Beneficial to the
this is
city to do
beneficial,
business.
and actually it needs to happen. It does. It needs to happen, because it's just a mess.
Well, if we're gonna get competitive,
looks
if we're really
cut-
gonna be serious
Yeah.
about further development, I think we need to get on the stick.
Just
So that's where, I would go into the
Yeah.
meeting going, here's my thresholds, and your goal is either do it this year or next year, and how you're gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
As much as that as you go into it, the better.
Is that something you want me to bring up in the city council meeting, just so that people, because if we need to ask, is that something the city council would have to
Yes.
approve? So is that something you would you like to bring that up? I know you're gonna stay for the meeting. Let's just be honest. Would you like to bring it up? I'm not gonna say it out loud. Would you like to bring it up? This was your idea.
I don't care. Sure.
I can say that the plan commission brought it up and what they're talking about. It's not that, no biggie.
I like Judd.
Is TIF funds eligible to pay for something like this?
Anything that benefits the TIF district and coincidentally benefits other districts is okay. A fire truck is okay. So I would say yes,
Like that.
but that's when I heard a dollar amount, that's something I'd probably run by Tom Pittman. Just so we don't get too far down the road and find out otherwise, but Tom Pittman knows. I mean, he's got a handbook, and I've got that handbook, and it lists what you can spend it on, and I've got that page tab because I get asked that a lot. I can't remember things like that. Seem like that would be acceptable.
I mean, this is for future development.
For sure.
So, I mean,
Yes.
and if you bring it up tonight, you could make a statement, which would be fair, is you would pursue.
I just don't know that
Funding
is
sources.
a TIF fund is a fund sitting there with cash in it available for expenditure. That's my
Well,
only hesitation.
the TIF fund is what purchased Cable One.
I don't know who they promised that to. I'm not familiar with that.
It was money because we had to come up with a budget that was submitted to the state.
Yeah, but I
And
mean, like, Shepherd's Landing. I don't know.
That's different. That's
Okay,
entirely.
Okay. I don't know that. I haven't been privy to some of those
Okay,
discussions. So I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know what they've
Okay.
been, who's promised what to.
You can pay for professional fees out of TIF monies. You can have a yearly
This seems
budget.
so akin to professional fees to me. That's, I mean,
I know.
this is like planning, you
Yes.
know, and which is why I think this is the right body to do that. You're in charge of the zoning code and the maps.
Who theoretically controls the purse strings for TIF and like the food, what's the food and beverage tax go to?
RDC. I don't know about the food and beverage tax would be city council.
I can answer if you want me to.
For
The
sure.
food and beverage tax comes to WEGA. It's part of WEGA's budget.
But not the
TIF
total
funds-
amount, is
The
it?
TIF funds, yeah, I believe so. I don't know that for certain, but I'm pretty sure the full amount of the food and beverage tax goes to WEGA. The full amount of the TIF funds goes
It's
to the
TIF.
redevelopment committee.
That's what meets
Development
after
Commission,
this.
That's Cindy's.
So you would control one of the two. So you would look into that and then, is that something WEGA would chip into potentially?
I wanted to make a public comment here, also I'll take my opportunity. WEGA has been requesting a relook at the zoning map and all the zoning codes in the city of Attica since its beginning. It's needed very badly. I'm glad to see you're acting on it. I'll applaud. We're open to anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it would be
I
fair to say,
really, unfortunately,
It'd be
I
nice to
think-
work together.
I personally think that's should be a city expenditure. That's zoning, that should be taken care of by the city, but
I
I'm
think
not
it'd be a
opposed,
great use.
I'm not opposed to it coming out of any fund.
I just think there's so like, I agree, I understand what you're saying, like the city. I just think the amount of people that would benefit from this, all of us, on all of these different, I mean,
If the city,
there's a lot.
the current zoning map and confusion around it has crushed progress in our city in just the most few recent years. And if the amount of progress we could make in the city in the next few years, if we could put the pieces of the puzzle together, the zoning board, WEGA, the redevelopment committee, and Main Street, if we could put those pieces of the puzzle together and cooperate, the growth in this town, you just have
Would enhance
no
it.
idea some of the things I see we could be doing. It's enormous.
I think we want to do it. I think we just
So-
gotta,
So this is the exact right, to me, it doesn't matter who pays for it. This is exactly the right place to start. Absolutely, 100%.
I also agree with checking with Tom, just to make sure. I don't have a problem calling him.
okay,
and
so
saying, does this fit in our,
Cindy is gonna call Tom.
Cindy will call Tom.
How about I let you all think about the dates for, how about a week?
Oh, don't give him a
We're all
week.
right
Okay,
here.
fine, okay.
We're
what
all
day-
right here.
Okay, what day you wanna do it then?
Let's
trying to give you some
take
time.
2 or 3 extra days.
Okay, number one pick.
Tuesdays are rough days. I have meetings every Tuesday, so.
Okay, so we're looking at, the
I don't-
20, we've got Thursday, we've got 2 Thursdays, a Monday. 2
What's the first
Mondays, and a-
Thursday?
The 26th,
26th.
right?
Yeah,
And March 2nd, March 4th, March 5th.
I'm good the 26th.
Yep, sooner the better, get it over with.
26.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm fine.
I'm good on the 26th. I'm gone on the March 4th, 5th, 6th.
Okay,
That's fine. I think
Do
that
we have a
should be-
second
yeah.
choice while who's talking to? You were
What
talking?
date you're
am.
not here on
Okay,
what
second
day?
choice?
March 4th, 5th, 6th.
I would say March 2nd, because Judd is available that day.
March 2nd.
I'm good
Okay,
too.
So let's do Thursday, the 26th, if we can.
And is that a 4 p.m. meeting or
What day are you
Whatever.
available?
I'm good.
Any day, like during, like even if it was during the middle of the day? Is anybody not
Yes.
available?
I'd prefer during the day.
Me
Middle of
too.
the day?
Yep.
I can make that work if we know ahead of time.
okay, do you want me to ask him what time works best for him?
Yeah, and then can you
I
just?
mean, he's coming from Indy.
What time do you wake up Sunday? We good to do this early?
I gotta do my hair, so you gotta give me at least till.
Okay, so we're gonna shoot for one of those days and probably sometime.
1:30?
I would say see whenever he's available, because I can, as long as you let me know ahead of time, I
Okay,
can make
okay,
sure.
I'll call
somebody's got
Paul.
the
I
keys.
told Brian that, I'm what I call him Paul. I told him, I said, I'll call you tomorrow, so. Cindy, call Tom and Brian.
Okay, I'm feeling good about this because we're actually making some progress. Okay. So anybody else, anything before I move on? All right, do I have a
Help
motion?
with the zoning.
Yeah.
Please contact Liga, we'll be glad to assist you.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, all in favor?
All right.
So we actually seconded it.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. That was like a super fast
I'm gonna
meeting.
get you this, I'll put it down. But this is the steps.